Hi, in this companion video to my Zero to Rack mini series, where in the main video I went through every single step on how to go from absolutely zero to having an agent that could search a rack. We're now gonna cover how to switch that in-memory database that we use there into a Cosmos DB. So Cosmos DB is a little more involved than some of the other ones, but not too much. So because this is zero to rack, meaning we need to do everything, I'm gonna create a brand new Cosmos DB up here. So up in Azure, in my sandbox, I'm gonna make a Cosmos DB. And spell it. And in my case, when we use the Cosmos DB here, I'm gonna use the Cosmos DB for NoSQL. There's the Mongo version, and there's two different NuGet packages, one for so that works with both. But we're gonna do NoSQL. Workload type is just learning here. It's gonna go away just after this record. YouTube availability zones. We don't care. We don't care really about the location. And I'm gonna go serverless, so it costs less because I'm already using my free tier account. But we're just gonna make it here. And that will take a little while, so I will pause the video and come back to you once it's ready. Okay, it took a couple of minutes, but the resource is now ready. So let's go to it. And now Data Explorer, we're gonna make a new database. So let's just call it YouTube. And different from some of the others that automatically create the table or index or so on up in Cosmos, we also need to make the container that it goes into because of the partition keys. So we're going to make the container as well. We're going to call it my collection. So it needs to match the name we put in to our code. And then there's the partition key. Right now we only have an ID, a question and answer, and a vector. None of them really fit a partition key. I imagine if you're looking for this in Cosmos, you definitely know what Cosmos partition keys are. But nothing really fits, so I'm gonna do the stupid thing and do it on the ID. But in real life, if you're really onto Cosmos anyway, you'll probably have some kind of type or region or something to put into the partition key. It needs to match one of the properties that we have down in our vector here. So I'm just matching it against this one. So let's go in and create that container, and then we should be ready. We have it. We of course need to get our keys, and while we're waiting for this, I'm gonna expose my keys now, or my connection string. That's because whenever you see this video, this resource have already been removed again, so it's not a security risk for me, but of course you should never share things like this. And what we are in is in a sample that look just like the in-memory one, but we just have a place to put in a connection string here. So we're going to put that in. And in order for us to work with it, we need one of the other packages in our vector data for community toolkits. So we're going to go to NuGet. We already have the in memory. We could take that away. And because of Cosmos, we have also put in Newtonsoft.json because else it complains about not having that. It's a little annoying, but that's just the way it is. and it would tell you if you didn't already put it in. So we can put in community toolkit.vector data. And among these, you can see there's two Cosmos, one if we use SQL, NoSQL, and one if we use MongoDB, because there's different APIs for them. We, of course, use the ones we created it as, the NoSQL. So that is ready. And the only thing we need to do now is to switch out our in-memory vector store here with the Cosmos DB vector store. This one have a bit extra, so we need the connection string, but we also need here already to tell the database name because it's not part of the connection string. So I think I called it YouTube, didn't I? Let's check. Yeah, YouTube. We also need a Cosmos client options. So we need a new of that. And the thing we need to set here is use system text JSON serialization with options. If we don't tell that, it will complain saying, hey, you need to set this. And we can say our JSON serialization options, and I know the web defaults work fine. Beyond that, we need the Cosmos DB vector store options in order to give our embedding generator. But beyond that, we don't need to change anything. That's all we need. We can run it, and hopefully it will work. So it begins embedding. And once the embedding is done, our AI will, of course, answer, just like we did in the main video. And if we look up in Cosmos, we should be able to look at the items here, which is our 10 different Q&A questions with the vector as well. So the Q, the A, and the vector. And that's actually everything there is to it. Cosmos requires a little more setup here, a bit more annoying. The partition key, but beyond that, we don't need to change a single line of code from the main video. So with that, thank you. See you in the next one.